Good evening, darlings. Welcome to the number, well, put your number if you've been following. If it's your first episode of Skits and Quibbles, put number 1. If it's your 10th, we haven't recorded it yet, but enjoy watching it. We are so pleased to see you. Oh, and I am so pleased to share some of my wonderful dance adventures with you. No, I haven't been drinking. I'm just wearing really uncomfortable shoes. No, just if you're wondering, I stopped drinking 3 months ago. Yes, I know. I don't drink anymore or less. Now, this is something that dancers would stick on their hair. You could use it diagonally. You could just stick it on your face. It all adds to your character. When I started dancing, I would stick it directly onto my skin. Yes, you guessed it. I'm an engineer, but I lack some common sense. So once I actually run out of glue, which is a dance glue. Now, dance glue is very special glue. It's the glue that you use when you're sweating. It's very water resistant. It's wonderful. It's kind of stretchy. Even when it gets wet, it still holds. I ran out of proper Swarovski glue, and I used super glue. The super glue, that tiny little bottle, 5 milligrams, would not open. So you know what Gordana did? Did Gordana use scissors? No. A little bit of glue squirted inside my mouth. And then I just used my tongue. I knew saliva versus super glue. Saliva will win. In 2 years' time, but saliva will win. So I pushed my tongue between my upper lip, my teeth, to actually stop the glue. My tongue got stuck to my tooth, my upper lip got stuck to the other side of my tongue. My dance partner, Rohit Sequeira, it was the best day of his life because super glue kept me quiet for about 10 hours. So tonight we have 3 amazing creative souls. The first one of them actually comes from a place that, interestingly enough, trialed. It was a pilot for the first mini roundabout. But more importantly, comes from the place. Do you know the passport that I got, my British passport? Well, thank goodness this place exists because they actually produced my passport. So thank you so much, Peterborough. One of their own. Peterborough, Luke Harrower, welcome him to the set. Woo-woo!
Hello, my name's Luke Harrower. I'm a bad person. Donated to charity, got a call from my bank. Suspicious activity! I'm dead, alright. I listen to music to start beat. I love that Pharrell Williams song, Happy. Don't like the opening line, though. Because the opening line of that song goes, it might sound crazy what I'm about to say. Then he just says some quite normal stuff. Honestly, that song should go, it might sound crazy what I'm about to say. The sperm of a fruit fly is 7 centimeters long. Bit about me, I work as a chef, but I'm trying to leave that line of work now because I hate it. But, you know, I did it to myself because I knew catering was going to be hell. My first day at catering college, we had a retired chef talk to us about his experience in high-end kitchens and how stressful it is. The key thing they touched upon is how a lot of chefs who struggle with pressure start taking drugs, and I get the appeal. I can't do recreational drugs. I'm already a bit too hyperactive. I'm aware of that. This is me on Lucozade. Imagine cocaine. Never actually taken hard drugs. Once thought I'd taken hallucinogenic mushrooms. Turns out, just imagining it. But I'm also like this because, I'm in front of people. Here's some people in this kind of situation, they say they get so nervous that they nearly vomit. I have the opposite problem. I get so excited I vomit. Yeah, it's not better. I'm not allowed to do charity work because they give you a donation bucket. I don't use that bucket for donations. My nickname when I was a kid was Pukey Lukey. Oh. Yeah, here's a cool name to give to a child. Who gave it to me? My parents. That's not the only reason I'm a bit all over the place. The thing is, there's a 50-50 chance I got ADHD. say 50-50 because I haven't actually been properly tested. I've arranged to be tested, waited 2 years for it to happen, forgot to go. To be fair, though, on the test where they're trying to find out if you struggle to pay attention, forgetting your appointment should be a pass. ADHD makes me forget what I'm doing a lot of the time, and like that's especially annoying when I do online shopping, because I'll order stuff in a basket, but by the time it arrives, I'll have forgotten the reason I did it. Because at some point last year, I bought shaving cream, a knife, 3 copies of the same Coldplay album, a Nerf gun, and some condoms, and I can't remember why! Like, I have a weird fixation on numbers, and one of the weirdest sides of my number brain is that I can never remember anyone's name the first time I meet them. But I can always remember how many letters their name has. Like that is any use to me whatsoever. If someone comes up to me and says, "Don't you remember me?" I can't go, "Yeah, of course I do. You're worth 7 points in Scrabble." On top of the ADHD, I've also got Irish family. Like, you think I speak fast? Compared to those guys, I am sedate. I'm half Irish, half Scottish. My dad's a proper dour Scottish man as well. You would not be able to guess what his hobby is. Because genuinely, he enjoys profiling convicted criminals. Yeah, for his own amusement. What do you get a guy like that for Christmas? My mum, meanwhile, is on the opposite side of the spectrum. This lovely, jovial Irish woman, but that being said, absolute moron. Yeah, suddenly Pukey Lukey's not getting the sympathy. No, but one of the things she did, she once bought me a short-sleeve T-shirt that said Merry Christmas. It's always nice to wear something Christmassy you can't use in cold weather. So, call my mum a moron. At least she's not a conspiracy theorist, because, I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, as if the internet isn't already a beehive of misery. Now we've got people thinking, like, the world is run by lizards. And drinking tap water turns you into a woman. Though there is actually a tiny modicum of truth to that last one, though. Because man-made intervention has put estrogen into the water supply, it has caused fish living near sewage runoff to start to develop more feminine characteristics. We're making mermaids. So cool, isn't it? We need to go further. Let's give a lizard Tabasco sauce, see if it turns into a dragon. Well, I'm back tangentially on the subject of food. Like, I am very opinionated about it. Something that baffles me is posh food. Because supposedly if you're posh, you're supposed to eat stuff that you can find on your own land. But I live in a pretty rough area, and I don't know how to cook a sofa. Like I said, I am a chef, and I am genuinely trying to leave that job. The job I really want to be is a writer. Like, I have actually wrote a whole novel, but it didn't help me become a professional writer. All it did was it made me hate kids' books. Because to put you in my shoes, imagine writing 70,000 words and only selling 20 copies. Then you see a kid's book, 20 words selling 70,000 copies, can make you a little bitter. I'm tired of all the tropes in kids' stories as well. These beautiful heroes versus ugly monsters, and there's usually animal characters. The fox will be wily and the owl will be wise. Apart from in the Gruffalo, but that book's a subversive masterpiece. It does not invite comparison. Something weird I wanted to address was that a lot of these books have these really strange, long-winded titles, and I found out the reason for it. Because we're living in an internet age and self-publishing is easier than ever, a lot of books are being given clickbait titles in order to sell more copies. Yeah, like it or not, clickbait is the next evolution of art. If Leonardo da Vinci were alive right now painting The Last Supper, he'd have to title it, "You Won't Believe Which One of These 12 is a Murderer." Bit about me, I am single. I think my problem is I am just awful at flirting. My friends who are better at it than me, they give me advice like, don't let rejection get you down and just speak from the heart. Sod off, mate! My heart's an idiot. My heart makes me say things like, do you like the soup? And the girl will be weirded out. But if she's nice, she'll reply, yeah, I do. But then I'll go, oh, really? Because I don't. To be fair, I also don't care about how I look. Like, I think people can care too much about their appearance. Like, plastic surgery's a big thing. I would never get plastic surgery. I don't want my family to have the decision of whether to bury me in a coffin or the recycling bin. In terms of looks, I'm not sure these shirts are doing me any favours. I have noticed that since I started wearing them, homeless people have stopped asking me for money. I think when it comes to relationships, though, love songs on the radio give people unrealistic expectations. Like, the song Grenade by Bruno Mars is a perfect example, because the lyrics go, I would catch a grenade for you, throw my head on a plane for you, jump in front of a train for you, I would do anything for you. And if this guy was actually a boyfriend, you'd be thinking, can you not, mate? You're being a bit clingy. Like, these songs are just so needy. The feeling of a song that goes, I love it when you call, but you never call at all. Take a hint. There's so many meaningless gestures in these songs. Really, though, one of the most common gestures you can make to your lover is to offer to walk 1,000 miles for them. Because you have the Proclaimers, and I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more. But you also have Vanessa Carlton, and you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I could just see you. But you also have Hey There Delilah by Plain White Tees. 1,000 miles seems pretty far, but they got planes and trains and cars. I'd walk to you if I had no other way. No, you wouldn't. The average walking speed is 3.5 miles an hour. If you were going constantly, you could cover 1,000 miles in 12 days. Being more realistic, you're still sleeping and stopping for food is going to take you double that time. And after 3.5 weeks of walking non-stop, by the time you get there, you're going to think, I'm not in the mood.
So, how long have you been doing comedy?
Just over a year.
Wow!
Yeah.
Really? Just?
Yeah.
Because that was incredible set.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
January 11th last year was when I did my first gig.
Wow. And how often do you gig? What's what's your plan for the next few years? How are you going to make it?
I mean, so I gig about 2 or 3 times a week, generally.
Standard, yeah.
Make it like my goal for the end of the year, Nottingham Comedy Festival in November. I want to put on some kind of show there just to test like longer sets, because right now I'm doing like the 10, 15-minute stuff.
That's it, nice. And within a year of actually performing, that's pretty good, actually. So you were, around 100, 150 mark, really, in terms of gigs? Because in the comedy circuit,
yeah, a bit over
anything
100.
under 100, you just elite, because in the first 100, you're supposed to what we call bomb, which PTSDs me. I mean, this totally causes me post-traumatic stress disorder. When I hear people say, oh, I bombed tonight, I'm like, oh my God, you don't have a clue what being bombed looks like. It's not pretty. And you actually almost lose your kind of hearing. Not bad jokes. It's actually you lose your kind of from impact. But yeah, so please don't use the term bomb, just say, yeah, could have done better, just the thought, because I have been bombed. I've bombed as well. Anyway, so in the first 100, what was the most kind of significant experience for you, when you did really well or when you did badly, and why?
So I would say the most significant one might have been my second gig, because the first one I did actually went okay, went better than I expected. The second gig, it was at the same venue, because they had a monthly open mic. It wasn't comedy, It was spoken word and music. And it was more, so it was probably me and one other comedian on the bill both of those nights. But the first one actually went better than expected. Second one, I went way too edgy and really, really didn't go well. But for some reason, failure seems to motivate me. So like the day after I did badly, I nearly said the word.
You see, he's learning. There's going to be something out of this stuff.
Yeah, yes. But the day after I did badly, I found the new material night in Cambridge. I applied for that, and the next month I was on that. That went surprisingly well as well. So I did that a few more times, and like a few months later, I found like the forums and the regular stuff. And
are you still surprised when you do well?
Yeah, a bit, actually.
I can't actually help but kind of like read your inner kind of like script almost when you were speaking. So you're still surprised?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Because you've got to diminish yourself like proper comedian. You know, do you find yourself like majority? Lots of comedians are like method actors. They stay in that self-diminishing mode. They get off the stage and they're still self-diminishing themselves to total oblivions. And then they wonder, why is their life why doesn't it have a meaning? Why are they so depressed and stuff like that? Well, get out of the effing character. Just an idea, you know. Are you in that character? You seem kind of too smiley. The
thing is, like, I get excited on stage. Like, it's been noted that, like, I'm a very calm off stage, but like 10 minutes before I go on stage and to 10 minutes after, I'm like super hyperactive. Like. Yes,
because I've got that too. What do they call that in neurodiversity? Because it's kind of like almost ADHD, but it's not really.
It's like situational stuff.
It's situational. It's kind of like under stress, under duress. We
just
get
being
ADHD.
Excited, I guess.
But it's our coping strategy. It's our coping strategy. We are live. There you go. You ADHD people, we are part-timers. And that's why we have smiles. Wonderful. So where are you heading? Do you want to be a comedian? Do you want to be a great public speaker, influencer? Do you want to grow up? I mean, please don't.
Oh, no, it's stand-up comedy. I've no interest in ever doing other show-busy stuff.
No. And if you were to kind of travel back in time and thank your parents for something that has actually made you happy to do what you're doing today, because you said you're a chef. You're a professional chef. My son is also a professional chef, and he also wants to get out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, couldn't you do both? Couldn't you use your humour, for example, to be a chef and a celebrity? And actually, there is a market for that. A lot of them, you know, when you look Gordon Ramsay, you know, how Jamie Oliver made it and stuff, you know, what do you think about your future options? Because both of them are great talents, you know, comedy and cooking.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely talents, but working in the catering industry is not fun. It really isn't. It's especially not conducive to doing comedy as well, because it's late nights and split shifts and crap like that. It's hard work as well. So
yes. And you wouldn't be smiling.
No.
It's not congruent, really. No, that's wonderful, wonderful. So what would you thank your parents for?
Oh, that is a good question. I mean, they're just taking me to the theatre to see stand-up comedy shows. Like, I remember because Peterborough's got like 3 different theatres, all different sizes. So all kinds of comedians like pass through, and we got different shows. But yeah, definitely, especially in my teenage years, we went to saw a lot of comedy shows.
Wonderful. And that really opened it up, and
I think,
you feel happy to...
Yeah, I think, because I've always enjoyed comedy. Like, I remember I must have been like 6 or 7 years old, and my parents gave me a Peter Kay DVD, and I didn't understand half the jokes he said, but it was funny.
Yes.
It was all the performance. Like, you would say, like, you drink your own piss, That's a poor impression, but... He was talking about Slimming World. It's like, I don't know what Slimming World is, I'm 7.
Yes,
so like he's talking about Bullseye. It's like, I've never watched Bullseye.
Yes. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So actually, having parents who were open-minded to take you with them, because theatre is quite a kind of mature activity in some houses, but they took you from a very young age. How old were you when you went first?
That's a good question. I want to say the first comedian I ever saw like live in person, it would have been Joe Pasquale when I was about 11, I would say.
Wow, wonderful. Well done, parents. Yes, yeah, very nice.
That was definitely still one of my favourite performances. Yes. He's doing a show, like, he's passing through Peterborough again, like, I think it's in November, but I'm definitely want to see that again.
Luke Harrower, please. Yay! Are you ready? Yes. Please welcome to the set one of my favorite, my favorite Lady Macbeth, Maya Barcot. Woo!
Hi, Mr. Branson. I'm Debbie. Deb's to friends. It's very nice to meet you. Now, I'm a housewife, a mum, an entrepreneur and an influencer from Essex. I live in a lovely little house and it's me, my husband and my 2 kids. So, the other day, I was watching telly with a glass of fizz, flicking through the channels as you do, when suddenly Gravity, which is one of my favourite films, came on. And when I saw Sandra Bullock floating in that space pod, well, I had a flashback. I remembered that when I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut. I've always loved space, and I thought, do you know what? Life's too bloody short. I've done everything there is on Earth, and now I'm setting my course for a galaxy very far away from this one. That's where you come in. I think I would be the perfect candidate for your Virgin Galactic spaceflight. I've been prepping. I've been prepping like mad. I've been gymming. I've been holding my breath underwater for many seconds. I've been doing exercise in one of them hypoxic chambers. I've been doing yoga, meditation, bungee jumping. I've been raiding through my kids' science GCSE books. I've been doing the creative cooking challenge. Oh, my husband and I came up with this one. Right, so any free ingredients in the back of your fridge, make a meal of it. Well, you'd be surprised what you could do with some leftover trifle pizza and soggy chips. Michelin star meal, I'm telling ya. But most importantly, Mr. B, I have been keeping up with all my celebrity gossip in Women's Own, Hello and Inside Soap. Because you never know which famous person is going to be on that space flight, and you don't want to embarrass yourself by not knowing who was killed off of EastEnders, who's marrying, who's divorcing, or, you know, who's fallen out of a cab on a night out. I've also been filming my prep on Facebook, Insta, TikTok, YouTube, Tumblr, Pinterest and X. And I've got loads of fans and followers. Hashtag Space Babe. Pod Babe. Essex famous. I want to go up there with all you fabulous fancy richies before space travel becomes, you know, as common as, I don't know, a trip to blue water. It would be like I'm in my very own space race. So, as you can see, Sir Richard B, I would be the perfect candidate for your space flight. All I need is a ticket. In the words of the late, great Mr. Frank Sinatra, fly me to the moon with some strangers in the night. See ya.
Now, what is it like being a foreigner? Because we are not expats. We're not expats. I'm not an expat. I'm not even an immigrant. I am, in my passport, in my old Yugoslav passport, it had a red stamp and it said alien.
My story is kind of a bit specific in the sense that when I first came here to the UK, I was very young. Mm-hmm. So I spent several years being educated here, and so it's not immediately obvious when I speak that I am a foreigner because of the sort of bilingual thing. But it is interesting how... So, for example, in theatre, within my career in theatre, I think I've played one foreign character, and then all of my other roles have been, you know, sort of kind of generic Locals. English or, you know, or classical roles, stuff like that. But on telly, I have played more foreign roles than I have sort of classically RP English, shall we say,
How
which
do
is
you
quite
explain
interesting.
That? Yes, that's really, I didn't know that.
I don't know. I just think I've been actually really lucky because I can play on those two strings, as it were. So, yes. and it's very different when you're playing a foreign character or when you're asked to kind of break your English, it sort of gives like slightly different characteristics to the way that you play a role, perhaps. Yeah, and it kind of brings out, interestingly enough, there have been roles where when I've broken my English, the sort of mentality, the vocal mentality has kind of come out, and it changes. It certainly changes you, and it's just, you kind of go, but it's just a linguistic thing, but it isn't, is it? Because other things kind of crop up, and
that's it. Yes.
Yeah. So
it's all part of playing that character, really.
Yeah.
Because you are, in the way, a character comedian.
Yeah.
Because it is funny. What is your favourite character so far that you've played, and why?
Oh goodness. Let me think. Oh, I played Nora in A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen, which is a very classical role, and I really enjoyed playing that. I had a recurring role in Doctors recently, which was really a really lovely role of a physiotherapist.
Yes.
And that was my, say, foreign role. So I played a physiotherapist called Magda, and she was really no nonsense, quite funny.
Yes. Did you break lots of men?
No, I tried to help people.
Oh, okay, you didn't break
I did
them.
try to
Sorry,
help.
wrong
No.
choice of language. Try to help them, I would not have bothered them, but yes.
But
Magda.
she was like sort of really no nonsense and
Loving it.
and direct, and she had that mentality, and I really enjoyed playing her. She was really funny.
Did you enjoy playing it because this is, I mean, please, is this because it was the opposite of the person you were, and it gave you a chance to kind of air that other, almost kind of let your hair down, or was it because it was comfortable? It was actually you that was hidden inside.
So that's quite an interesting question. I think that within, and I'd like kind of talking about this, because I think as an actor, you sort of will always delve into aspects of your personality that will highlight the aspects of the character that you're playing.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're your own instrument. So,
yes.
So I think with Magda, I found aspects of her and elements of her that I felt were quite similar. There were some similarities to myself, and so I enjoyed melding those two things. But I'm definitely not completely her.
Yes.
But there were those moments where you get that authenticity and you play.
Yes,
exactly.
To what extent are you, as an actor, as a professional actor, which you are superb? I mean, your biography, your CV is amazing. You've made it in many ways, and we're so delighted to have you here tonight. Thank you for being, squeezing us in your busy schedule. But to what extent do you actually have, as an actor, opportunity to shape it? Because I was reading a lot about, I love my favourite Daniel Day-Lewis. He just, goes off, studies method acting. Quite scary stuff. Comes back, just wins prizes and goes off again 7 years.
To develop a character, so I suppose it depends. It depends on who you're playing. If you're playing someone that we sort of say on centre, or someone that's quite similar and you have kind of easy access to that character and their personality, then it's obviously much easier to access that character, and because they're sort of already there and simmering. But then when you're playing other characters that might be off centre and trying to justify what they're doing, like, I don't know, Lady Macbeth or even Nora, then you've got to go a little bit, you've got to do your research. You have to kind of, and it's mainly doing a justification for why a character does something, or, kind of imagining yourself in those situations, and then trying to, again, highlight things that you feel are key to that character. So you just put sort of more research behind it, maybe.
More research,
but it's all about sort of
and bring it alive.
Yeah, and but it's really all about the collaboration that you have with the other actors, with your director. It's such a team effort.
I love that.
I think it's never really just yourself, which is why I really love my job.
It's kind of like a family when people
Exactly.
say, you know, like, oh, but I treated all my children the same, but they all turned out different.
Yeah.
Because we all have relationships with each other,
That's right.
and it does shape. So
Yeah.
that's a really good analogy that
yeah.
you've put there. Now, one of my favourite artists, musical artists, and I hope you like her too, Nina Simone.
Oh, yes. Yes, I love her.
Yes, wonderful. What do you love about Nina Simone?
I actually love how free she was as an artist.
Yes.
For me, I think she really was able to just be her art and live her art, and albeit there were painful moments within her life, but I thought that she was an artist in the real sense of that word. She embodied her creativity and
everything she did. Yes.
Yeah.
I found one of her quotes, which was, "It is artist's duty to reflect the times in which we live today." And I, you know, a little bit paraphrased, but totally. And I think you have just demonstrated that you do the same thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Dr. Audrey Tang, a chartered psychologist, and on my show Mental Health Matters, we take a deep dive into all things mental health and well-being with the experts. So join us at 8 a.m. PST on Thursdays on the Fresh Takes channel, because Mental Health Matters on E360 TV.
Mike Shear. Oh, so good to have you. So good to see you again after Belgrade.
Yeah, last time I saw you, you were doing the guns. Yeah, it was great.
We were doing the guns, that's right.
Yeah.
We were well remembered, you know. Shooting range, and I remember you doing your shooting range blues.
Yes, you enjoyed that song, right? The shooting range blues, all about Clintons and.
I will actually send it to our executive producers, and I hope they like a part of it, because it would be nice to hear maybe 30 seconds of it. It is your own creation. It was musical improvisation.
Yes.
And you could actually hear the gunshots in the background.
And I still
don't worry, nobody got injured.
I don't know why they had a guitar in that. Is that
drown
customary?
the gunshots.
Just soloing so no one can hear it?
That's right.
That's
you
fine.
plug it in.
Yeah.
And you go, and the amplification, and nobody hears the guns. You are a comic. You are an actor.
Yeah.
You are...
I was in... what the hell was it called? I can't remember now, but it was with Sienna Miller and James Franco, and I was cut out in the final edit, but I played a waiter serving them in a diner, and I had one line, and it was, "Are you okay?" I said to Sienna Miller.
And were they okay?
In the movie, she wasn't okay, and the movie was not okay. The movie was really bad. No one saw it. I feel like it's true. I think they were a little ashamed. I think it was right before both of them made it big. Super famous.
So Aristotle, this is Socrates kind of a period.
Aristotle.
So we've got, we've got Aristotle. Do you like any of those?
Yeah.
We are what we repeatedly do.
Yeah, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. That's why I say I am a wanker.
So I love that you appreciate Aristotle.
Yes.
And what are the other two? What do you have? There is no genius without a touch of madness. What do you think about that?
You know what? It depends who said it.
It was Aristotle.
But like, if you say that, are you going? It sounds to me like you're being a little self-deprecating. Like you're going, if you're a genius like me, you gotta be a little crazy.
You know, NASA did a research on this. At 2 years of age, they tested children. 98% of them were geniuses. And then they tested them later on in life. By the age of 25, only 2% stayed geniuses. We were basically educated out of genius.
I think it's the bar goes higher and higher as you get older. If you're a child, what makes you a genius when you're a child, when you're under 5?
Being playful, asking why questions.
Well, they do that anyway. No one's like not doing that as a kid.
No, as adults, we stopped doing it.
Yeah, so, but it's like we're also not shitting our pants and eating Lego. But like we're not putting stuff up our nose and crying. Like the bar gets higher as you get older. That's, if they're still, I don't know. I don't feel like that's a good study. I think NASA should stick to making spaceships. They should stay away from the kids. Make the spaceships.
Oh my gosh, I love the screen. I mean, it is a little bit smaller. But you can read it.
I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. Again, this bullshit, self-deprecating, toxic masculinity kind
That's
of
it.
like,
It's
hey,
like a comedy
I know
circuit.
everything. I know everything. It's nothing. Like the thing that I know is nothing, but I know everything. Like, what? How do you take that?
Don't you think that they were comedians? Read the last one. Read the last one.
This is
I
the
mean,
Mary
that
one,
could be
isn't it?
proper stand-up comedian.
By all means, marry. If you get a good wife, you'll become happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher. Oh, so it's not if you don't get married, you're a philosopher. It's if you get a bad one, you're going to be a philosopher.
It's always ladies' fault.
So this is his little indirect way of shitting on his
And
wife.
let's see Plato. I mean, let's see what kind of comedian he is. I think our latest one, yes.
When the mind is thinking, it is talking to itself. That's like you with your schizophrenia. Wise men talk because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something.
Oh, you stopped it there. Why did you stop
Because
there?
I'm not a fool. I don't have to talk.
okay, no. That's me. That would be me.
Think more. I mean, these are like the Andrew Tates of their generation, isn't it?
I told
They
you.
are.
I told you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Is he real Canadian?
Oh, here he comes. Well, why don't we? What? I mean, we could ask him, or we could test him. Mike.
Is this the toilet?
We've got,
Oh.
we need to test you.
Oh.
It's new regulations.
COVID.
It's the new COVID rules.
Okay.
But this time we're testing with maple syrup.
It's a new thing.
It's a new
That's
thing.
unconventional.
It's a new
I like
thing.
Is
it.
it? Exactly. It's got to be done.
like it.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
So, we would like you to try these 3 things and tell us which one is the real maple syrup.
These 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try this. What's maple syrup again?
I don't know. You tell me. I'm not the Canadian.
Oh, yes.
You're Canadian,
Yes. Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I certainly am.
So,
I think it's like a syrup, but it comes from a tree.
go for it. Be my
Okay,
guest.
so
You go first.
I'm going to try the 3, and I have to guess which one is real. That's what's happening?
That's
Okay.
right.
All right, let's go. Do you know maple? Do you want me to tell you about maple syrup
Please
at all?
do.
or-
I would
So
really
it's
like
from,
you to.
It's like pus, and it comes from a tree, the maple tree, and it's like it's kind of like a syrup, and that's it. That's all I know. It's just it's a
Do you
syrup.
put like a little kind of tap in the tree?
You know so much about it.
There it is.
You're the expert here. Yeah, you put
Tap,
a
and I know more about that than Brandy.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Bottoms up. All right, I'm gonna try
Let's
this one.
go.
That's really nice,
Okay.
but it's not Canadian.
Oh.
No way. No way. No way.
Is it too sweet?
No, it's not sweet enough. It's not smoky enough.
Ah.
You gotta get the proper smoky because cannabis is legal there. so
Yeah,
this
right,
is-
yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Let's try this one.
Did cannabis, nice.
That's not even syrup.
Oh, what?
That's
I don't-
fucking turpentine,
Oh.
which is also
Oh, actually,
Canadian,
yeah,
so-
I think that might be what we were doing.
Trying to get the
the
super
bathroom.
glue
Yeah,
in her mouth with.
yeah. So I think
Okay.
you've just. Yeah, sorry.
It's all right.
I think
It's
you'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Just drink lots of water.
Well, I'll just drink more maple syrup.
Yeah, yeah. Or have some
So-
rakia.
Well, this one must be it. Let me just try a little bit of this.
Yeah, you don't want it to be like, paint.
Oh, it's paint.
Oh, is it paint?
Yeah, it's paint.
Okay, then. So none of them?
I don't think any of it. I think it was a trick question that you guys put to me.
Ah.
Very clever. Very clever. Very clever. Paint, turpentine, maple syrup, but not from Canada.
And a 9 999 call.
Yeah, well, we can call them after.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we
sure?
can call them later.
Okay.
It's fine. I'm having a nice time. I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's good.
Well,
Let's see how you go.
colours.
Yeah, fun. Okay.
It's like I see Niagara Falls behind me for some reason. Yeah. I just have this urge to go and buy cheap cigarettes.
Yeah, right.
That's what you do at Niagara
Is
Falls.
that what you do?
Yeah.
I should have gone there when I was a smoker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really
it's
should
like
have done
they have here those ships that go to Portugal.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try,
Right, let's do
the
this.
Barcot.
So, one of them is non-alcoholic, one of them is 40%, one of them is 60%,
Okay.
correct? Okay.
See if you can guess which one's which.
This, by the way, is
Barcot.
called a trocan.
It's a who? Truck?
Yeah, trocan. That's what it's
Trocan.
called, this little thing.
That's in your language?
Yeah.
Trocken?
Trocan.
Are you fucking Klingon or something? Trocken?
I just realised
aggressive.
I did see June the other day, and I realised as I was saying it, I was like, I actually sound like the language that they speak in June.
Yeah, what the
and
hell?
I know. Okay.
You are an alien.
I am. See, I mean, like I said.
Trocken. It's aggressive. No wonder everyone's attacking you guys.
It's all in the chest resonance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta do something about that chest
Right,
resonance.
I know.
Canada is a peaceful country. Listen to how we speak. We're nice.
What do you know? You're not Canadian.
Oh, true. Oh, no, I am now. I'm
you
also
are now,
half
yeah, I
dead.
suppose.
Go on.
How much time have you got? Okay. So I'm going to try this one. I can't quite smell the alcohol too much on this one. Okay. I'm gonna hold off for a second.
What?
Well, no. I'm gonna put it to the side.
And then you're gonna
And I'm
compare
gonna-
it. That's what I should have done.
Yeah, you see. Oh, that's got a lot more.
Kick.
That's been in the barrel for years.
Is that bad?
Yeah, well, we're
Strong.
about to see. Paint stripper, probably. Let's see. I mean, I can take my liquor, but that is. Yeah, but I don't know. I might go blind. Okay, so that's strong.
Okay.
Okay. This smells like a sort of aged Merlot.
Oh, that was me.
Oh, you know, I mean, it just affects my no,
Sorry.
can't, you know.
Sorry.
Okay. Non-alcoholic, paint stripper, so 60%, 40%.
I have no idea if you're right or not, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's the right.
That's right. Yeah. Real syrup, she knows.
You are truly
I am
Serbian.
true Serb.
That's it.
What are you gonna do about that?
I'm definitely not going to drink any more of
Yeah,
that one.
I think it's enough Trocans for you.
Yeah.
Tropicana.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what's the most Serbian thing about you? Would you say, other than being able to tell the
To
different
do
kinds of
this,
bread?
yeah. So I speak the language,
Okay. Yeah. we
There's
got
that.
Yeah.
and I think my temperament.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So when I came to study acting at Lambda in London.
Quit bragging.
Yeah, exactly. 3-year acting course. I remember a friend of mine saying, who's now a very close friend, we are still friends, very good friends. He said, so I used to be a smoker back then, and we were at this getting to know you party, which was always something that, you know, we did as first years.
Ah, an orgy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard about this. Drama
You know about
school.
those, yeah.
Okay, getting to know
So
you
I
better.
would be sort of sat at a table, you know, with my cigarettes and then talking to other people. And he said, I watched you, and I didn't know you very well. You spoke English very well, but you looked like a Bond villain. And he said, I was really terrified of you. I went, what? He said, no, honestly, like, I was really scared. So, okay. So over the years, that's kind of chipped away, but every now, it's kind of become more anglicized, but every now and again, it kind of
See,
comes out.
I have a theory that like languages like yours, which are, kind of clunky and aggressive and...
Not always. Not always.
Okay. Well, how do you say sunflower?
Sunsokret.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Is it?
Yeah, that's nice. How would you say pillow?
Jastuk.
That doesn't sound comfortable at all. Okay, so what I just want to say is that I think with English, I think with like a lot of languages, especially like these European languages, they're quite like you have a lot of hard sounds.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have a lot of like, I don't know, do you have like the like this one?
No, we don't have those. We've got the sh, ch, j,
Yeah.
ch.
Ch is, yeah. And you have t's, a lot of t's.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we
and
do.
rr.
Yeah, the rolling
but-
R's, the rotic.
So I think English is so easy. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so easy to speak
Yeah.
and learn. I mean, I learned it without barely any... I could speak it really easily, is what I'm saying. But I think because we, like, so particularly like British and Canadian and American to a lesser extent, but we are able to be more passive-aggressive. Like, we're able to feed in more stuff that we don't mean.
That's true.
We're able to concentrate on that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
you guys are concentrating on just getting the sounds out.
Yeah.
So by the time you've made the sound, you're
We're
really
knackered.
You're tired. You don't have time to beat around the bush. With us, it's all about saying what we don't mean, trying to psychologically manipulate you, trying to make you feel bad.
It's the language of diplomacy.
Yeah, exactly. Bravo.
Tonight we had lovely guests, Maya Barcot, who's had to shoot off to another filming assignment. This is your actor, professional actors. I don't know how they do it. So we are so lucky and privileged to have had her even for an hour during our filming. The other guests, we have had Luke Harrower from Peterborough. Woo, 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 woo! Come here. And we had our headliner tonight. We did something different. We did a little bit of improvising because he's also an actor. Mike Shear in action. Something completely different. Woo, woo, woo. I've been Gordana Micic, your host, the Balkan girl, obviously, because I'm from the Balkans. You've been you, best authentic self. Keep giggling, and we shall see you next time. Lots of love.